Would you ever put a computer chip in your brain? Well, that's exactly what Elon Musk and his team at Neuralink successfully were able to pull off on the first ever human test subject, and today we're going to talk about why. Neuralink, founded by none other than Elon Musk, is perhaps one of the most interesting startups of our time. With extremely ambitious goals, Neuralink aims to do everything from curing severe brain injuries to becoming a futuristic tool we use for human enhancement, allowing us to potentially link human brains to artificial intelligence systems. Neuralink was created by Elon Musk and a group of experts in 2016, and emerged from Musk's deep interest in the implications of rapidly advancing artificial intelligence. Musk has long voiced concerns about AI potentially surpassing human intelligence and posing existential risks to society as we know it.
He thinks it's sort of 10-20% probability of something terrible happening.
So 10 to 20 probability of what happening?
Something terrible?
Neuralink was conceived as a way to create a viable brain-computer interface, which Musk sees as essential for humans to merge with AI and remain relevant in a future dominated by advanced AI systems. This ties into many of Musk's other companies that also push the boundary of what the future will look like. SpaceX, which aims to build societies on other planets. Tesla, which aims to have a fleet of fully autonomous vehicles that provide infrastructure to the world. The Boring Company, which aims to build tunnels throughout the country that rapidly expand transport as we know it. And xAI, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company that uses AI to tie in all of his other companies and the data that they provide. Going back to Neuralink, the idea behind the project is not entirely new. Brain-computer interfaces have been a subject of research for decades, particularly in medical and rehabilitation contexts. Some of Neuralink's first projects focused on developing ultra-high bandwidth brain-machine interfaces. The technology involves creating flexible threads, thinner than the human hair, which could be implanted into the brain directly to detect neuron activity. This is something that became super exciting for a lot of people, particularly with paralysis, as technology aimed to allow people with disabilities to control computers and mobile devices directly with their brains. In July 2019, Neuralink held a public presentation where it showcased its advancements. They introduced the N1 sensor, designed to be embedded within a human body and transmit its data wirelessly. They also demonstrated a robot that could insert these flexible threads into the brain with high precision. Neuralink's early animal studies, particularly on rodents and later on pigs, were critical. These studies aimed to test the efficacy and safety of their technology. For instance, during a 2020 update, Musk showcased a pig named Gertrude, which had a Neuralink device implanted in its brain, demonstrating the device's capability to record neural activity. Something we talk a lot about on this channel is founders, their startups, and the reasoning behind various companies' rise to success from the early stages. You can watch a good example of that content by clicking the link here, but Neuralink is a great example of a company that is destined for success for a few reasons. Why Neuralink is particularly interesting is because it is solving a problem that so many people care deeply about from an emotional level. When you're talking about things like paralysis or various ailments of the body that cause people to have a significantly degraded standard of life, when something like Neuralink can pose a solution to people who are having a very tough time, this immediately interacts with their emotions and causes them to care much more about the product and the success of that product over a long time. Elon Musk has been very good at spotting companies like this over time, and one could argue that almost all of the companies that he works on interface emotionally with people in this way. Neuralink's developments from these initial projects were all geared towards making their first human implant trials, which were planned to focus on individuals with severe spinal cord injuries to help restore their ability to communicate and interact with their environments. These early projects laid the groundwork for approaching regulatory bodies like the FDA to get approval for human trials, which was a significant step towards the first human implants. On January 29th of 2024, Elon and the team at Neuralink achieved a significant milestone by successfully implanting the first brain-computer interface chip into a human patient. The patient was selected as a part of the PRIME study, which focuses on individuals with severe mobility limitations due to conditions like spinal cord injuries or ALS. It's really quite exciting to see this finally come to life, and Neuralink has already begun to release videos showcasing their first patient's new ability to control his computer just using his mind. After being paraplegic for years, this was an amazing first step for him, as it allowed him to finally have the ability to do things he once loved, such as chess and playing video games. While the technology is still in its infancy and there's much more progress to be made, it's exciting to have a win no matter how small it may seem. You can look at Neuralink as a platform instead of a singular product, and there's so many things that can be built on top of this platform that would help people with a variety of different ailments. To think about it more simply, the computer and the internet are also a platform on which a bunch of interesting products and services are also built. the brain is also an area in which you can do something similar. And so what I find really interesting, what will it look like when a bunch of developers begin to spend time on building on top of the brain as an interface, using Neuralink as a conduit to build interesting things. While I think that this may be scary to some, there's a much larger opportunity to improve the lifestyles of people who have a variety of different ailments. And the fact that this technology is now going to be widely available to them means that the average person who is debilitated with unfortunate diseases that affect the brain, mobility, etc., will now be able to live a much healthier and happier life. And I think overall that is a net positive. While I wouldn't be within the first couple of million people to get the brain implant, if it proves to be an extremely useful product that makes the efficacy of people's lives much higher, then I would definitely be in line to get this. There have definitely been debates about the rapid pace of development in Neuralink, the potential long-term health impacts on its patients, and the invasive nature of the implant procedure, which involves significant surgery and poses risks like hemorrhages or infections. Furthermore, while the potential applications of such technology, including helping individuals with severe disabilities, are profound, there are broader concerns about privacy, data security, and the long-term implications of integrating advanced technology so closely with human cognitive processes. As Neuralink continues to develop and refine this strategy, it will be crucial to address these concerns through rigorous safety testing, transparent reporting, and ethical considerations to balance innovation with the welfare of participants. Regardless, it is an extremely exciting project, and we are all waiting to see where it takes us in the future. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments on what you think about Neuralink and the progress they have made over the last few years. What is exciting about the company to you? Assuming the future of Neuralink goes where Elon says it will, do you see yourself getting an implant that enhances your brain? As always, thank you so much for watching, and please check out some of the other videos on our channel where we take a deep dive into founders, their startups, and all things exciting in the tech industry. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment on some other things that you'd like to see us cover, and we'll see you on the next one.